When thinking of a good cop flick with great acting and interesting story arc, there's many that might come to your mind, but I'm sure the first one you'll think of is Training Day. Training Day is everything you will want in a good cop movie, and I promise you that Training Day has all of that. A great story, good action, and suspense. Training Day has all of that. It's just an all-around great movie. So if you haven't seen it yet, then you need to get out more. So let's get into it. Training Day is about a young, up-and-coming cop who wants to make detective as a narc. So he's given a day of training with a captain to prove himself and to make it or break it. Unfortunately, he's got more in store for him than making him a narcotics officer. So in one day, the two of them goes from smoking PCP, beating down two crackheads, putting a pin up Snoop's mouth, robbing Macy Gray, visiting Eva Mendes, killing and robbing Scott Glenn. And if you've seen this movie, then I'm sure you know how the story ends. But anyways, let's get into the characters. You got the up-and-coming young officer named Jay Coit, played by Ethan Hawke. And to be honest, I can't really imagine anyone else playing this role. He's playing a nice guy, follow the rules, good-hearted cop role. And you actually believe the role. You believe that he is a nice guy, follow the rules cop. I mean, Ethan Hawke doesn't make this movie, but he sure as hell helps bring it home, especially coming close to the end. You're hoping that he gets Alonzo. You really believe the role when the Latinos in East LA was going about to kill him. And that's the point where you're really into the movie during that scene. Now, speaking of the character, Detective Alonzo Harris, played by Denzel Washington. Personally, in the acting world, any good actor can play a good guy role, and of course the audience will buy it. But only the true greats can play a bad guy role, and Denzel Washington is in his best performances ever. As a character, Captain Alonzo Harris is a full-fledged street narcotics detective, but after a rough weekend in Vegas, there was an incident which puts him on a Russian mafia hit list for $1 million. So Detective Alonzo Harris got two options: pay up or be killed off. So pretty much for a good deal of the movie, he's just using poor Officer Hoyt to achieve his own ends. And I mean, Denzel Washington played this role so well. He's probably the only person on this planet to be able to play a role like this, because Alonzo is a true bad guy. He's one manipulative bastard. He's likable, but at the same time, you want him to get what's coming. So love him or hate him, Alonzo Harris is everything you will want in a hardcore, manipulative, crooked cop. The areas in Training Day are also great, visiting very rough neighborhoods as very rough towns. East LA, Central LA, other areas. As a Los Angeles native, East LA and Baldwin Village, aka the Jungles, aren't neighborhoods that any unfamiliar person will want to visit. So I'm sure that they had real LAPD officers from left to right while shooting these scenes. But overall, Training Day help native and non-native of Los Angeles to appreciate the energy the city brings for a good stage for the movie. So the characters are all unforgettable. The plot is great. It's a huge stage. Training Day brings realistic corruption that's probably in the real life Los Angeles Police Department. I'm sure others have problems with the movie that I did not point out in this review. So if you have any issues with the movie, leave your comments. But for me, I don't really have any. So if you haven't seen Training Day, I highly recommend to anyone that loves a really good cop flick. And if you'd like to see more reviews from me, then add me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter at ThatReviewerGuy.